Hi everyone, welcome to Elvis Presley Past, Present and Future. This week we are going to do a tribute to Anita Wood, who passed away 2 days ago. Anita was a significant lady in Elvis's life, and today I thought it would be lovely just to relive her days with Elvis. I have got most of the information, or all of the information today, from her book, Once Upon a Time, which is an absolutely fantastic book. If you haven't seen this book or read this book already, it is well worth the read. It is an awesome book. So, guys, I hope you all enjoy our tribute to Anita Wood. Anita Marie Wood Brewer was born on May 27, 1938. She was also known as Little Bitty and Little. She was a TV performer, recording artist, and girlfriend of Elvis. Elvis and Anita met in 1957, and in the same year, Elvis referred to her as his number one girl. The two dated seriously for several years, from 1957 to 1962. Anita signed a contract to work as an actress for Paramount Pictures, but later gave it up for Elvis. She was a favourite of Gladys Presley. Anita recorded for ABC Paramount in 1958, Sun, 1961, and Santo, 1963. She was married to NFL football player Johnny Brewer for 46 years, from 1965 until his death in 2011. In 1976, Johnny Brewer sued the Memphis publishing company for libel when it reported that Anita Brewer was divorced from Brewer and reunited with Elvis in Las Vegas. Anita Wood appeared on The Larry King Show in 2005 to talk about her romance with Elvis. Anita's insecurity of dating the world's most desirable young man and Gladys Presley's support for her is nicely recorded in this following passage. Anita used to tell Gladys how inadequate she felt about being Elvis's girlfriend, especially with all the photographs she saw in newspapers of him with other girls. Gladys put her right at ease. "Don't you worry about that, Anita. Elvis has to pretend he likes those girls because the Colonel wants him to. But you're the one he really wants. Don't ever forget that." Elvis and Anita's relationship, away from the glare of the media cameras, was in many ways stereotypical of the romanticism of the 1950s Americana. At its core, theirs was a relatively uncomplicated relationship based on mutual attraction, affection, shared interests, and respect, albeit fundamentally destined to be destabilized by the extreme availability of and hormonally driven temptations of an entertainment world that confronted them both, but especially Elvis. Before Elvis was drafted into the army, Elvis and Anita headed towards a fairy tale ending that, had Elvis not been drafted into the army, quite possibly would have seen Anita become Mrs. Elvis Presley. Anita was so happy. For a moment that night, she thought she was dreaming. But it wasn't a dream. Elvis had finally put a timeline on when they would be married. He would repeat this promise many times while he was in Texas, and again throughout the 2 years he was stationed in Germany. This gave Anita the fortitude to endure the complications of being in love with Elvis Presley. Anita Wood, as a recording artist, had an assured vocal quality and was very, very good. Her sound was late 1950, early 1960s, catchy and made for the times. Had Sam Phillips' Sun record label operated out of the big cities, Anita's resonant country-infused pop sound, plus the Phillips studio production magic, could well have resulted in a solid top 40 hit for Anita. Interestingly, one of Anita's singles for ABC Paramount in the late 1950s was Crying in the Chapel. Yes, she did. She recorded it. And I do happen to have that recording here for you. I'll play a little bit of it.
You saw me crying in the chapel. The tears I shed were tears of joy. I know the meaning of contentment. I am happy with the Lord. Just a plain and simple chapel.
There you go. Just a little bit of Anita's version of Crying in the Chapel. She also worked with Andy Williams, and she is the uncredited vocalist with him on the Hawaiian Wedding Song, a top 15 hit in early 1959. And yes, I have that one for you as well. Now I'm just going to play the end bit of this, where Anita comes in with the backing vocals.
Now that we are one, clouds won't hide the sun, blue skies of light smile on this our wedding day.
I do love
you with all my heart.
There you go. That is Andy Williams' version of Hawaiian Wedding Song with Anita singing there as well. Elvis was in tears when girlfriend Anita Wood demanded him the truth about his affair with Priscilla after he flew the teenager to the US for a secret visit. Many years later, Priscilla would be at home hearing endless rumours that her husband was having affairs with his movie co-stars. But in 1962, Anita was the one who confronted the king about his relationship with the teenager. Elvis started dating Anita in 1957, and they were officially still together throughout his 2-year military service in Germany. The singer met 14-year-old Priscilla Beaulieu just weeks before he was due to return to the US in 1960. For the next 2 years, Elvis still dated Anita, but was romancing Priscilla behind her back, until the final showdown. Anita had quickly become aware of the rumours surrounding Elvis's secret relationship. Press and fan groups had already started to refer to Priscilla as the king's sweetheart. When he came home, Anita found a letter from Priscilla begging Elvis to convince her father to let her visit. Anita confronted her boyfriend, but he said it was just friendship and implored her not to say anything which could potentially ruin his career and reputation, since Priscilla was underage. This went on for 2 years, with Priscilla sending Elvis letters in bright pink envelopes, but it wasn't until 1962 that devastated Anita realised Elvis had actually seen her rival. He had flown Priscilla to America, promising her parents he would not take her out of Memphis, but instead whirling them away on a secret romantic trip to Las Vegas. And then, one evening at home, Anita overheard a conversation between Elvis and his father. Anita recalled, "When I was coming down the back stairs into the kitchen, I heard Elvis say, 'I'm having the hardest time making up my mind between the two.'" Devastated, she marched into the room and forced Elvis to admit what was going on. Anita recalled, "Elvis took me into the dining room and his dad was sitting at the table. We sat down at the table and I said, 'I'm going to make that decision for you. I heard what you said and I'm leaving.'" And I remember that I started crying. It was a very difficult decision to make. I must say that it was probably the most difficult decision I've ever made in my life. I knew that when I left, there would be no going back. I would never have come back. Never. Elvis and his father both tried to convince her this wasn't the end. Anita said, "I'm leaving," and I called Andy, my brother, to come and pick me up, and we sat there and talked a little bit longer. Nobody could eat. There was food there on the table, but nobody could eat it. She had become very close to Elvis's family over the years, comforting his mother when he left on military service, and often staying at Graceland while Elvis was away. Anita added, "I remember Mr. Presley said, 'Well, if you must leave, Anita, maybe you'll meet again. There are people that sometimes separate and they get back together, and you'll get back together again.' However, she knew she wouldn't be back. I said, 'No, I don't know about that. I'm not planning on it.' I was crying, and Elvis was crying. Elvis just said, 'I pray to God that I'm doing the right thing by letting you go.' And I said, 'You can't keep me from going. I'm going.' I was really upset. I was mad. I was hurt, and he wasn't going to have to make that decision. So my brother came, and we got some of my things that I had there, and we left. And I never went back as his girlfriend again. Anita's first meeting with Priscilla, which perhaps surprisingly did not occur until the Christmas following Elvis's death. The man in the gatehouse approached our car. Anita's face lit up like he was an old friend. He was Uncle Vesta, the brother of Elvis's father. "Hey, Anita," said Vesta. "It's good to see you. How are you doing?" "I'm fine, Vesta. Thank you. This is my daughter, Janita." and my sister-in-law Karen. I came by to see Grandma and Mr. Presley. Are they up there?" "Yeah, they are," said Vesta, "but Priscilla is in town, so I better call up to the house first and make sure that it's okay." At that moment, a sense of dread came over Anita, though she managed not to show it. She and Priscilla knew of each other, of course, but they never actually met. And since Anita hadn't anticipated seeing her, she didn't know what to expect. Priscilla was waiting at the gate as they pulled up behind the house. She was dressed in a long-sleeved silk shirt, and as we got out of the car, Karen noticed she was not wearing any makeup, yet she looked absolutely stunning. She walked up to Anita, held out her hand, and introduced herself. "I'm Priscilla. It's so nice to finally meet you, Anita." Then Priscilla said something I'll never forget. "I have heard so much about you, Anita. I really feel like I already know you." Marty Lacker said, "Anita was absolutely great for Elvis because she exhibited a real love for him and understood him very much back then. Fact is, Anita was a lot like Elvis's mother in that regard. She's basically and fundamentally a good and friendly person who also got along greatly with those of us in the Memphis Mafia. She was not threatened by us always being there. I strongly believe that if Elvis had married Anita, his life would have been so much better and more enjoyable for him as well as her, and would have turned out to be very different with him, possibly not dying at such an early age. She would have nurtured him in a very good way, which is something Priscilla was not capable of doing. For one thing, Anita was not as self-absorbed as Priscilla was, and still is." Now these words are taken out of that book. Anita is in the top 2 of Elvis's girlfriends, as far as most of us guys are concerned, and that opinion, of course, is based on our close first-hand observations. Anita died of pneumonia on June 29, 2023 at Dominic's Hospital in Jackson. Rest in peace, Anita. Fly with angels. Anita was such a classy woman. Absolutely beautiful, right until the end. And you just wonder, what if? What if she was the one that had married Elvis all those years ago? We will never know. We can only speculate. We can only say, what if? But I do believe that she was good for Elvis. Her and Dixie, they were both beautiful. Both beautiful. But I have one more song I would like to play for you. Now, this song was recorded in 1958, and it was a private home recording at Eddie Fidel's residence in Texas, where Elvis, when he was doing his training for the army, he stayed at Eddie Fidel's residence in Waco, Texas, and Anita would come and visit him there. Now, like I said, this is a private recording. It was never released on album or anything like that. Elvis is playing the piano, and this is actually a duet recorded in May 1958, Eddie Fidel's home, Elvis on the piano and singing with Anita Wood. And the song is called I Can't Help It. So everybody, enjoy the beautiful voice of Anita, accompanied by Elvis.
Playing that. Today. See, this too high.
Is that just where did you play the last time?
I don't remember. Today. That's your key.
I can never get it.
Yeah, you let's go.
Two. Right there?
Try to think. Come on.
Today. Is that right? That's too low, isn't it?
Come on, you don't need like you mean it, man. I want
B flat's what I see, but you changed it. What key did you put it in? B or C?
That's it. All right.
Today I passed you on the street, and my heart fell at your feet. I can't help it if I'm still in love with you. Somebody else stood by your side, and she looks so satisfied. I can't help it if I'm still in love with you.
Still in love with you. Listen to this. It's
Hard to know another's lips will kiss you and hold you just the way I used to do. Heaven only knows how much I miss you. I can't help it if I'm still in love with you.
I'm still in love with you.
A memory from the past came slowly stealing as I pressed your arm and came so close to you. Suddenly I got that old time feeling. I can't help it if I'm still in love with you.
I'm still in love with you. It's hard enough.
It's hard to know another's lips will kiss you and hold you just the way I used to do. Oh, heaven only knows how much I miss you. I can't help it if I'm still in love with you.
I'm still in love with you. Pretty?
Boy, Anita, that is tremendous.
Oh, thank you. That's a beautiful
I can't
song.
wait till your first record comes out.
I
It
hope-
better be a good one. I wish they'd let me
hope
pick
it
it.
I do too. It'd be,
I wish they
be
would
nice.
too.
You could put her on a song like that one, or Happy Birthday, Baby,
Oh, I wish you'd record that. I wish you'd record that one.
or Cold, you know, something with some heart.
Something with a big.
What I'm afraid of is they're going to put on something a little too modern, a little too popular. A little too popular. You know what I
It'll
mean?
just die too quick.
Well, no.
It'll catch on and then fade.
No, I'm not talking about. I'm talking about they're going to give us some music. I'm afraid
It's more of a Judy London type or something. And they got to give her something like Connie Francis sings.
Yeah.
Something with some guts
Something
to
that
it.
just catches
Something with
on
some
fast.
guts to it.
Yeah, that'd be a good
that
one.
new hers, Connie Francis?
Did you play the new one I sent you? I'm
I
sorry.
don't-
it made you
I
cry.
don't care
You don't
too
like it?
I'm sorry, dear. So sorry, dear. I don't care too much for that.
There we go. The beautiful voice of Anita. Of course, accompanied beautifully by Elvis on the piano. And Elvis vocal as well. Well, guys, I hope you have enjoyed our tribute to Anita Wood. And like I said, if you have not got her book, Once Upon a Time, it is well worth getting. It's all about her story with Elvis, and it is one of my favourite books. She was an absolute sweetheart. Like I said, she was a classy lady. She loved Elvis. And rest in peace, Anita. Another part of our Elvis family that is gone. Guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe. It is free. And don't forget to comment. I do read every single one of them. You all have a great week. And I'll see you soon. Bye.